Welcome to Jack Talk. I'm your host, Roquemore, and today we'll be talking to a member of the ACC, the Recreation Superintendent, about the Corporate Challenge, and the Fitness and Wellness Coordinator about the Week of Reflection. You won't want to miss any of it. All coming up right here on Jack Talk. Today we have Publicity Manager of the ACC, Latifa Al-Bukhari. It's great to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Great. Could you tell me, what is the ACC?
It's the Asian Culture Club. This club is to celebrate diversity around campus. It's not only Asian culture, but the minority of campus is the Asian students, and we're here just to celebrate that culture.
Okay, and is this a newfound organization? How long have you all been around?
It's been around for about 3 years. I've been there since last spring.
Okay, and you said that you celebrate all different kind of cultures,
Yes.
but since it is the Asian Culture Club, I'm sure that that's one of the focuses. How do you
Yes.
pick which Asian culture that you focus on? Because I'm sure that like Cambodian is different than Vietnamese and so on.
Yes, of course. In the beginning, it started as Chinese mostly, and more students start to come in, and more students start to mention their own culture. And now we try to mention every culture, including like every part of Asia.
Okay, about how many active students do you all have?
We have about 30 from every major, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors.
And if I wanted to be a part of the Asian Culture Club, how would I go about doing so?
You can talk to any of the members. We have a Facebook group, and also just show up at the meeting. You are welcome. Anyone's welcome any day.
And I see on the Facebook group that you said that you're bringing the East to SFA. How do you plan on doing that, or how are you doing that in some ways?
We plan on doing that by having events throughout the year. For example, we have the Fall Fest in the fall, and we have our upcoming event, the night market, in the spring, and try to show people what we're trying to do.
Okay, so the Pho Fest, what is pho and why do you have a festival for it?
Pho is a traditional Vietnamese dish. It's basically a noodle soup made of beef broth. There is a lot of vegetables and different kind of beef or meat in general. It's very famous, and it's very delicious and healthy for you, and we just have a big event because we don't really have a lot of places that sell that here in Nacogdoches, so we try to bring that as a big event because a lot of people ask for it too.
And I know last November you collaborated with the OLA to do the shadow skit. Could you tell us about that?
Yes, OLA asked us to collaborate with them, and of course we were more than happy to do that. We had shadow dances by our own students. They practiced every day to do that shadow dancing, choreographed everything, and a lot of people liked it, which was great. Yeah.
And for the ACC, why would you think that Nacogdoches or SFA needs a club like this?
Because we are a minority, and we try to spread cultural awareness and diversity. And of course, we have a lot of other clubs around the school, but ours celebrates diversity, like not only around the world, but also in the States, around American students too.
And as far as the night market, your upcoming event, could you talk about that some?
Yes, our night market is our biggest event for the spring semester. It's going to be at 6 p.m. till 9, April 4th. It's a Friday, so it's going to be a great start for everyone's weekend. Everyone's welcome to join, including the Nacogdoches community. We're expecting everyone to come in, including families and even children.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at your typical meetings, what do you go over? Do you go over like Asian history or different customs?
We try not to make our meetings more of like learning because the students spend their whole day learning about that in school. So we do that by hanging out together, talking about our own cultures, and everyone learns from each other's culture. And it's really interesting how, you know, we compare each other's cultures.
Okay. And are there more ACCs at different campuses, or how does this go? Is it nationwide?
Every campus has a different way of calling their own Asian Cultural Club. Well, for us it's ACC, but you know, everyone has a different name for that.
And besides the night market, what other events do you have coming up?
We have Fall Fest, but it's next fall. And like between every semester we have different little events, like OLA when we collaborated with them. We usually don't do that. That was our first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you plan on grabbing more students to join the club or publicizing your ACC club?
Bigger events, more fun events, just in general talking about it, showing that we're having fun. For example, we're not really strict as a club. Anyone can join, and we don't really ask you to be at the meeting. Last month, we planned a road trip to Dallas to go to the Chinese Lantern Festival, and we stayed at each other's houses. It was very casual, it was very fun, and we asked anyone to join. Not everyone was in ACC. We just asked everyone to join.
Okay, sure. And if you don't mind me asking, what's your ethnicity?
I'm Arab. I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Okay, so what made you want to join the ACC?
Saudi Arabia is in Asia, first of all. Second of all, I'm a big fan of Asian food, Asian culture in general. I met one person from that club, and then I just got really close to everyone at that club that I didn't really want to leave, and I still, go every week for that.
Okay, sure. And if I wanted to join, what is something that you can tell me to ensure that I was to come to a meeting and join the club?
We're really fun. We hang out. We're like a family. We call each other the ACC fam. Like, we're always together. If anyone needs help in that club, like, we're there for them. Whether it's about school or family or anything, we're always there for each other. Even if we don't have a meeting that week, we basically just go to each other's places and hang out and cook together. During night market last year, the parents came in and we all had fun and got to know each other, and they helped out in the club.
Alrighty, great. Well, thank you for coming, Latifah. It was a really pleasure talking to you. Everyone stay tuned. We have more coming up after this. Welcome back to Jack Talk. For our final segment, we'll be talking with Kate Hulick-Bridges, the Fitness and Wellness Coordinator, who can usually be found in her office, piled up with paperwork, but found the time to join us in the studio today. Thanks for being on the show today, Kate.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So first off, could you just give us a little background? Tell us a bit about yourself.
All right, well, I'm the Fitness and Wellness Coordinator for Campus Recreation, which means that I manage all of the fitness and wellness programming for the Student Rec Center. So anything fitness and wellness, from the equipment, the group exercise classes, personal training, all wellness events on campus. I coordinate and manage all of that. I have 2 graduate assistants and a staff of about 30 student employees that I manage. From Colorado originally. I was born and raised there. I graduated with my bachelor's in exercise science and nutrition from Colorado State University in 2005. It's making me feel old now. And I've worked in the fitness industry ever since, in the both private and higher education as well. So I worked at Oregon State University for several years before coming here as their exercise specialist coordinator.
Great. And so we have the Week of Reflection coming up. Could you tell us about that?
We do, yes. The Week of Reflection is sponsored. It's put on by the Division of Student Affairs, and it is a week. It's April 7th through the 11th, and it's a week for students. It's an opportunity for them to reflect and look back upon the last year and their experience at SFA and what they've actually learned from that. So rather than just going through the motions of each year, okay, cross that off, move to the next. It's like, all right, well, let's look back and see, what did you learn this last year? What affected you? There's 5 days, so it's a week long, and each day has a different theme. The themes are going to be service, diversity, wellness, leadership, and scholarship. And then there'll be various activities each day that coincide with that theme.
Okay. And could you give us like a specific event they'll go to each day?
You know, we're still finalizing the event, so
Okay,
I don't
sure.
know exactly what's happening each day. I do know Wednesday is going to be Wellness Day, and since that's the part that I'm involved in, I can tell you a little bit more about
Sure.
that. We're going to have a de-stress fest that's going to go on in the plaza outside the Student Center, and there's going to be lots of different activities. Again, we're coming towards the end of the term, so it's a time for students. Wellness Day is more about reflecting on how you've grown in body, mind, and spirit, and sort of taking care of yourself, as opposed to how you fit into the wider world. So we're going to do an event, a yoga mala that day, that's going to take place outside on the plaza as well from 12 to 2.
Okay, and what exactly is a yoga mala?
A yoga mala is takes about 2 hours, and it's 108 sun salutations. So you're going through a sun salutation is about 8 poses, and it's a flow that you move. You transition from pose to pose with either an inhale or an exhale. And so a sun salutation is you're really honoring the sun, or each day as it comes up. And so through those 8 movements, we're going to repeat those 8 movements 108 times. We'll have all the mats set up through the whole plaza. I have a bunch of purple mats, so we'll kind of purple out the plaza and just have a ton of people there, and we're all going to be moving together. So you do the movements together. We'll have 3 instructors that are going to lead it, 3 professional instructors. I'll be one of them, and then 2 others, professionals around the community. And we're going to lead it. We're going to teach all of the poses, give modifications, and then lead that. We'll have music, and we'll also have a counter to keep track of which one we're on, because I can't count that
Yeah,
high. So
That's a lot.
I can't keep track. We don't want to do them all day. But it should take about 2 hours to complete that.
And who all can come to the event? Is it just SFA students or open to the
Anyone
community?
can come to it. We encourage all students and faculty, staff, anyone who's interested or kind of curious or wants to see what it's like can come to it. Again, you don't need a mat, because we'll have mats, but you can bring your own. It's for all levels, all fitness levels. So if you're comfortable with yoga, if you're familiar with it, come participate. If you're new to yoga, you've never done it before, like I said, we'll teach the poses. If you're like, I'm not doing yoga, you can just come sit on a mat and meditate or kind of reflect on yourself and what you've learned, or just kind of soak up the happy energy and vibes there.
Yeah. So the 108 sun salutations, they'll all be the same level. So even if I'm not an experienced yoga person, you'll be able to teach me and I'll be able to do it, or will each instructor teach like a different way of that sun
What
salutation?
we'll do is we'll go through and we'll teach at the beginning of it, so we'll show all the modifications, we'll go through the poses and the flow so that everybody knows what they're doing. And then we'll just continue doing that, and so you can choose whichever level modification you'd like to do. If you want to pause and take a break, you can always take a break, sit back in child's pose and rest. If you can't come for the whole time, you can come and do a couple of yoga mala. You could do like 3 or 4 sun salutations. You could do all 108. Like I said, you could come and just sit on the mat. So any time between that 12 and 2, people can drop by, stop in, do some poses, and then head out. And then we'll have just a little flyer before and after so they can reflect on how they're feeling going into it and then how they feel coming out. And then there'll be prizes and giveaways as well.
Oh, wow. So is this an annual event, something that you do every year?
You know, this is the first time we've done it. Actually, we've coincided our wellness fair with the Week of Reflection in the past, but we weren't able to this year. And so we were trying to come up with, Dr. Adam Peck and I were trying to come up with a way that we could have some kind of an event for campus recreation to be involved, because again, it's all partners across campus are involved in the Week of Reflection and putting this on. And we've always had a part in it. So what could we do in wellness that's sort of a broad thing that can reflect to the body, mind, and spirit for students to look into that. And I would like to do, we've done a lot of yoga classes, but we haven't done a yoga mala, and so it's something, it's a little different twist, and it's also, since it's repetitive, it's pretty simple, so you can catch on, and it's easy to learn. So it really tailors towards a variety of fitness levels and yoga levels.
Okay, and if I was still on the fence about coming, what would you tell me to ensure that I come?
I would say it's going to be so much fun, and it's a great way to challenge yourself, learn a little bit about yourself, and also just reflect, like sit back and look at what you're doing, try something new, experiment, put yourself out there, and just have fun, and be a part of the SFA community and the world as a whole, because these events go on all over the world.
Okay, and is this like a pre-registration, or is it just walk up and I can register and be a part of it?
It is walk up and register. Like, you don't even need to register, just walk up, grab a mat, and jump in. We like to keep it simple.
Okay.
And you could do it in clothes. You don't necessarily have to be dressed out either. You can just come in whatever.
Okay, and how can I contact you if I wanted to join this?
I have, let's see, I'm at the Student Rec Center. My office is there. I have an email address. You can find all that information on the Campus Recreation website.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That's all the time that we have for today.
Thank
I'd like
you.
to thank Kate and the rest of our guests for joining us today. I'm Chaz Roquemore. Tune in again for another segment of Jack Talk.